Understood. Now, again, maybe since you brought up the ATL campaign, right, would love to get your perspective on how you think about branding, right? I know, like, and maybe as part of that, you can talk a little bit about what Zeno does. And, I know for a long time, the business didn't have to spend any money on marketing. There was a lot of very strong word of mouth, and that basically carried the business. But at some point, you started spending more dollars on marketing, and like you said, they didn't necessarily pan out. What were the lessons along the way, and how do you think about ATL, BTL, just word of mouth branding, things like that?
Yeah. So starting with that, what do we do? So I'll just for everybody's sake. So we are into democratizing healthcare. So we call ourselves Zeno. We are a revolution who's democratizing healthcare. In healthcare, the biggest cost is medicine. And in India, medicine are very expensive. Being the generic capital of the world, India में लोगों को generic as a generic नहीं मिलता है. Generic भी branded की तरह ही मिलता है. And that is the opportunity which we saw when we were doing multiple things in pharma. Me and Girish saw, and we said कि यार ये एक बहुत बड़ा धांधली चल रहा है इन इंडिया कि यार जो मेडिसिन लोग डॉक्टर लिख रहे हैं वो भी जेनरिक है और वो लोग ले रहे हैं बिकॉज डॉक्टर लिख रहे हैं और वो मोनोपोली की तरह बिक रहा है. व्हेन यू एजुकेट पीपल दे विल बिकम अवेयर and that awareness will help them save 80 to 90% on their medicine bill while not compromising in any aspect, neither on quality, neither on anything, just because the awareness is not there. And that is where we started our omnichannel hyperlocal store network, which start educating people, giving them option and making them or enabling them to make the right choice by consulting with their doctors, right? कि अच्छा आज मेरी अगर 1000 रुपए का बास्केट है मेडिसिन का, सेम टू सेम क्वालिटी मुझे मिल सकती है 300 rupees, and it will save them a lot of money which they can use for even better health चीजों के लिए, right? So that is what we do. As you said, like now we are at 50 million GMB ARR and have served more than 15 lakh consumers, saved them 250 crore in last 3 to 4 years, right? Initially when we started, I would just say, and for everybody who is watching this video, when we started कि हम generics बेचेंगे, right? The whole ecosystem, if you see, of medicine was against it, right? Companies don't want to tell कि generics क्या है और generics कैसे बिकता है. Doctors don't want to write. Other retailers want to sell generics at higher price. Consumer is also not aware. जिसके लिए वो है कि अरे generic अच्छा है या नहीं है, right? So if you see, every stakeholder जो इसमें है is all against generics. But we had the belief कि if we crack this, if we educate consumer, get them highest quality generics at the best of price, this will change, right? So that belief was there, and we stood for consumer, right, at that time. And जब कंज्यूमर आए, पहले 2 कंज्यूमर आए, उनको एजुकेट किया, उन्होंने 4 को किया, 4 से मल्टीप्लायर इफेक्ट हुआ, and a lot of word of mouth started happening when we started this, right? But as you move forward in your journey, right, जब फिर ये तो पहले जब खुद ही स्टोर पे थे, फिर मैनेजर्स आए, फिर और मैनेजर्स आए, and then it becomes a company. And when it becomes a company, it becomes important that you start communicating with consumer, right, even at a larger scale. And that is where we felt कि अच्छा ये तो चल रहा है but इसका एक ही growth stage हो सकता है. Now we have to have a lot of people जो also भी इसको जाने, not only people जो हमारे अंदर walk in किया उसी को जानने को मिले, right? And that is where all branding and stuff came into play. And only last year we started doing excessive or it started putting dollars in marketing, right? And then we had our share of learning, as I discussed before कि जब पहली बार करते हैं तो नहीं पता चलता है क्या है. We had that share, but the most important point we learned in this ATL is, and I think that is a marketing में जितने भी लोग होंगे उनको पता भी होगा, that communicating the why. So when we were not doing any marketing, our why was very clear because we were communicating with consumer directly at our store. So why was going very correctly. But when you do our marketing and ATL, उसमें हमारा why उतना गॉड या उतना अच्छे तरीके से communicate नहीं हुआ, right? And now when we are designing our campaigns, that why to come to Zeno, right? Even we had a change of our brand, and that has also some impact उसका negative आया हमारे ऊपर because Genrico has a very high equity. Zeno Health को लेने में थोड़ा time लगेगा, but there are certain things which changed, and our why was not that clear into our campaign. That has caused us that did not work. But now we will change our communication, communicate why we are standing, what is the reason Zeno stands for, and that why will help us get our communication right to our consumers.